So, hello, it's finally here. So, welcome to this new project of mine, Build the Terminator T800. In this series of videos, I'm going to hopefully build all of this. So, what I'm going to do, this is going to be a slightly different video. It's a little bit later than everybody else's, and it's going to follow a slightly different format. I've actually subscribed to it, so I will receive 4 issues every 4 weeks. However, I've received my first 2 copies, so obviously I can get on with the videos, but I don't know what the delivery schedule is going to be. So I'm releasing this video today. I'm going to be releasing issue 2 in 2 weeks time. Hopefully by then, well, what I'll do is I'll buy issue 3 from the newsagents, so I'll be able to have that 2 weeks later. Once the actual subscription copies kick in, then it will end up one a week. If it turns out that I've slowed it down too much, I can always do 2 videos in 1 week to catch up. So please bear with me on this. Hopefully this is going to be a really exciting build. This is going to be a probably slightly longer video because I'm going to introduce the project as well, and then we'll crack on with the build. So as soon as I saw this model, it just really drew me in. It's something that I really wanted to build as soon as I saw it. Such an iconic film. I was 12 years old when this came out, and it was so revolutionary. These days you see a lot of films about robots and the machines taking over, but really, to be honest with you, this is one of the first, and I don't think it's been bettered. And of course you've got a couple of iconic names which, you know, they were quite early days, you know, younger people back in those days. Obviously you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's gone on to bigger and better things, you know, since his acting career, appeared in a lot of films. And of course you've got James Cameron. Not many people don't know who James Cameron is these days, but obviously he was only a small name in those days. So looking at the model, basically it's a 1:2 scale replica of the Terminator T800. It's going to be about 1 meter high. It's about 3 foot. It's going to be made of zinc alloy ABS parts, and it looks like it's going to be quite a lot of electronics with it. It's also going to play the Terminator theme. I think this is something for your display cabinet. This is going to look absolutely fantastic when you have guests come round. It's going to have a remote controlled jaw. It's going to have a luminous eyes. You've got a remote control, so you can operate the sounds, lights and movements. It's got moving articulations, so obviously the arms are going to move about. This I'd really like to see. This is something I've not seen done before. I've seen models with moving parts. I've seen models with lights. But really I can't imagine how this is going to go, so this is going to be really exciting. And of course it's got all the sound effects, like I say, playing the theme. And the bass alone looks absolutely amazing. So now I'm a subscriber, and you do receive 4 free gifts and a free issue. Free issues are always really good because obviously it saves you money. Now, the first free gift, which you get with your first delivery, you get the free issue, and you get your first your screwdriver set. Sorry. Now, I will be honest with you, this screwdriver set looks amazing, which you will see it in the build. But I'll be honest with you, it's not something that I really need, so I'm going to give it away. Why not? You know, share the hobby love. So carry on watching this video, and I will give you details on how you can win that. The next gift that you receive, again, I will be honest with you, I won't be using, but a very useful gift, is the free binder. If you're like me and you keep your magazines, you'll want some way to keep your magazines nice so you can look through them at a later date. With the 5th delivery, we'll be getting the key ring, a Terminator key ring, basically a head on a key ring. That was something that I am looking forward to, and the most exciting gift is the replica weapon. Now, when I signed up for this as a test, you got a police car with it. It was at a Dodge or something, or Ford, something like that. And it's something I really wanted. And I will admit I was slightly disappointed to find out that you didn't get it. However, replica weapon, 1:2 scale, it's going to go with the model. It's going to enhance that model. So assembly begins. The first components of the fearsome T800 are rolling off the production line at Cyberdyne Systems under the control of Skynet. It's now your task to assist in the assembly of this legendary cyborg. In this session, you will assemble the first part of the head of your T800, beginning with the eyes, which, once the model is finished, can be eerily lit by red LED diodes. So anybody who follows any of my builds knows that I'm an absolute stickler for checking parts. I thoroughly recommend it. There's nothing worse than getting part way through the build and finding out you've lost a part. So we're going to go through the pieces, and it begins with piece 1-1, which is a chrome eye and nasal sockets. Now this is a metal part. Part 1-2 is a matte black inner eye socket, which is plastic. Part 1-3 is the eye socket brace. Part 1-4 is the chrome eye orbits. Now these are plastic coated. These do feel quite nice. 1-3 actually, the eye socket brace, that's plastic as well. Part 1-5 is the red eye caps. Now these are kind of a clear acrylic-y plastic. Part 1-6 are the LED diodes for the eyes. Now there's 2 of these. Part 1-7, head connection component A. And part 1-8 is, now it says 3 times PB 2x2mm screws. Now I'm actually going to be popping these into a brand new pillbox, and I'm going to be labeling these as PB4. And what I mean by that is that they're called PB screws. P, I assume, is for plastic, B is type B, and they're 4mm, so we'll just call them PB4s. Okay, so here I am laying out the parts. So we've got piece 1-1, piece 1-2, piece 1-3, piece 1-4, pieces 1-4, piece 1-5, piece 1-6, piece 1-7, and pieces 1-8, which are the screws. So I'm taking piece 1-1 and 1-7, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put those aside for another day. And we take pieces 1-4 and piece 1-5. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to place this into there, nice and simple. Push that in as far as we go, and that's I'm happy with that. However, I have seen people file the bottom of these down to make them more flush. I'm okay with that, but I know that at any point I could just push something in there and I could probably get that out again if I want to just adapt it. But I'm really happy with that. What I'm looking to do is make sure they're level, so no matter how much they stick out, they both stick out the same amount, which I'm happy they do. Now stage 5 is to take the LEDs. Now they do stress with these, there seems to be 2 points at the top there and one at the bottom, and it seems that you need to pop them in. I don't know which way round they go at this point, if it makes a difference, but what we need to do is we need to take these diodes and we need to, it does actually stress that it goes in this way round, so we need to be putting them in like that, not like that. At this point, I'll be honest with you, I don't know why that's important, but let's follow the instructions. Now they are quite difficult to put in, so be a little bit careful, and yeah, obviously they're going to go in fine. So there we go, we'll just pop that second one in. And this one is quite difficult to put in, so just see if I can pop that one in. So we'll just compare the two. See, this one I'm not happy with. Right. So this one did require a little bit extra force. I'm not actually convinced it's gone in properly, but so long as you apply force evenly on both sides, you see I'm pushing with 2 thumbs. If you push with one, you could just jolt it a bit. So. And there's stage 6. This is how your eyes should look like once they're assembled. So step 7, now this is a tricky stage. What we need to be doing is, excuse me, we need to pop these into here. Now you'll see that there's some little locating, not lugs, they're like little channels. And what you need to do is you need to get this, obviously you've got the 2 locating channels, these 2 parts here will go in, no problems. You need to get this part upright, and they will go in like that, and the second one will go in like that. However, with step 8, you need to be popping this bit in. This is like a little brace which will hold them in. So if you have it curved away from you, and what we'll do is we'll pop that in like that. So what we'll do is we will pop this in like that, and then we'll pop the brace in. There's numerous ways you can do this, and I'll show you the way that I've done it. So I've just got that in, and you'll see there's like a little circle, and this will be a continuation of the circle. So once I've got that one in, I'm just going to lift this end up. Remember to keep the second notch upright, and that will go in like so. And you see that they're not actually in properly, but by holding them loose, that's fine. So what I'm going to do now, I mean, I've actually managed to get these. Oh, now that one's come out again. You see they're slightly fiddly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it like that, just exposing the one screw hole, and then we'll just get a couple of screws out. I like to use a tray because then you see there I've just chucked my screws in and they're not going to go all over the place. So what I like to do when I pop the screw in, I'll just pop it in, and I'm just going to pop it in, not all the way, but just enough so that it's in. You see there, then that's now in. That now means we don't need to hold this as much. So we'll get the second screw. Whoops. Oh, hooray for magnetic screwdrivers. So right, and I'm just going to pop that one in just enough. It's not in all the way, and then that's going to see that this eye socket's just come out. So it means I can now just move this around. Right, so I can now undo the screw a little bit if I want a little bit more space. and I'm happy with that. So I'll do this screw up just a little bit more, and then hopefully that will hold. And this one starts to fall out, so I'll hold that into place. And you'll notice I've not put the screws all the way in yet, so I'm just adjusting them. These are really wanting to pop out, so really need to keep an eye on them. You don't need a lot of care, but you need some. There you go. I think that's now in place. So this one's popped out again, so we've just got to persuade that to go back in again, just while we do this screw up a little bit more. Okay, and that one doesn't, there we go. So it's not quite in, it's going to just try and pop out. So once I'm happy with that, I can tighten these screws up a lot more. And don't over tighten. Once the screws start to give more resistance, then it's probably all it wants. As long as it's on there tight, it's not moving, and these are moving freely, I think they're okay. And that is the stage complete. So it is a short issue, but what I always find with issue ones is it shows you, it's a bit more of a showcase. So you see here we've got a piece of metal, so it's showing you that there's going to be metal parts. It's got some LEDs, so we know that there's going to be some lights with it, and they look really nice. You can see that they look like eyes, and obviously it's showing you that even when there's plastic parts, that plastic is of good quality. So I'm very, very happy with that. So yeah, so that's the build for this week. Now I like to see what's coming in next week, and I will be showing that. But what I've decided to do for this series of videos, I'm actually going to show you what's coming next week as part of the end credits. But before I go, I will just read you the text. So the right arm will begin, and we assemble the Terminator's upper jaw and teeth. So that's it for this issue. I'll see you in the next video.